Bitcoin is back in the conversation. It usually is after a sharp move. When the price falls, people ask if the story ever held up. When it climbs, they ask if they're missing out. Hi, my name's Paul Carroll with Avion Wealth, and both are the wrong question. The better ones are simpler. Is it actually scarce? And is anyone actually using it? The scarcity argument goes like this. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. Fixed supply. No central bank printing more. Now that part is true for Bitcoin itself, but here's what that argument tends to leave out. Bitcoin is not the only cryptocurrency. There are thousands of them. New ones launch constantly. So while any single coin may be capped, the broader supply of crypto assets is not. The scarcity of one does not create scarcity across the category. And that distinction may be worth keeping in mind. The second question is about use. Bitcoin was introduced as a form of digital cash, a way to pay for things. So it is fair to ask a simple question, who is actually using it that way? For everyday purchases, the honest answer is very few people. It can be slow, its value can move sharply between the moment you agree on a price and the moment the payment settles. And that volatility makes it difficult to use as a reliable medium of exchange. Most people who hold it are not spending it. They are holding it, hoping that the price rises, which raises the real distinction. Here's the framing that may be useful. If Bitcoin is treated as a currency, it has struggled to function as one. And if it's not functioning as a currency, then it behaves more like a commodity, something that is bought and sold based on what someone else will pay for it later. Now, neither of those is inherently good or bad, but they are very different things. And many people invested in crypto lose track of which one they own. That distinction may deserve review as part of a broader look at how any single position fits in a portfolio. But there's also part of the story that often gets lost. Bitcoin is built on something called a blockchain. And the blockchain, the underlying technology, may be where the real long-term value lies, not just for investors, but for society at large. Let's consider a few examples. One is the conditional contract. That's an agreement that executes automatically when certain terms are met, without needing a middleman to enforce it. Now, Bitcoin itself doesn't really support this, but other networks such as Ethereum were built for it. Another is record keeping, without a central gatekeeper. Think of property ownership, a permanent tamper-proof record of who owns what. Now that may sound minor in a country like ours with reliable courts, but in places where records can be altered or where the courts have been compromised, a record no single party can quietly rewrite could be genuinely valuable. And here's the key point. These uses are real, but almost none of them add value to Bitcoin specifically. The technology may prove important, but that does not mean the original coin captures that value. Those are two separate questions, and they're very easy to blur together. Now, none of this is a prediction about price. The point is narrower. The scarcity story is more complicated than it sounds. The use case, as everyday money, remains very thin. For anyone holding a meaningful position, the questions worth exploring are the practical ones. How large is the position relative to everything else you own? How would it be treated for tax purposes if sold or gifted? And whether or not it even fits the goals the rest of your plan is built around. These are the details that tend to matter more than the headlines. At Avion Wealth, we help clients think through how any single holding, including digital assets, fits within a well-constructed and coordinated plan. If you'd like a second look at how a concentrated or unfamiliar position fits your broader wealth strategy, we offer a complimentary second opinion service. Thank you.